Have you ever wondered why some of the wealthiest people in the world choose to live modestly? Why do billionaires wear simple clothes, drive unassuming cars, and live in homes far from the mansions you'd expect? Could there be a reason behind their choice to look poor, even when they could flaunt extreme wealth? Today, we're going to unravel this intriguing concept and discover why looking poor is not just about humility, but a powerful strategy that can transform your life. Stay with me to the end, because this story is packed with surprising revelations and real-life examples that might just change the way you see success. It's time. You have been weak for too long. Remember everything they said. Remember everything they did. All that rage, all that hate. Use it. Become the best your bloodline has ever seen. The myth of external wealth. From a young age, we're programmed to believe that success looks like luxury. Big houses, fast cars, designer clothes, we associate wealth with appearances. The message is clear: to show the world you've made it, you must look rich. But what if this belief is actually holding you back? The journey to true wealth isn't about showing off the possessions that you have, but it's more about embracing the virtues of modesty and humility. We live in a world that often values appearances, especially on social media, but if you're able to stay grounded and keep a low profile your bank account, and your net worth will grow very fast. Here's the truth: those who truly succeed often do the opposite. Take Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, worth over $100 billion. You'd expect him to live in a sprawling estate, right? Instead, he lives in the same modest home in Omaha, Nebraska, that he bought in 1958 for just $31,500.
Investment is don't lose. And the second rule of investment is don't forget the first rule, and that's all the rules there are. I mean, if you buy things for far below what they're worth, and you buy a group of them, you basically don't lose money.
That's right, Warren Buffett, with all his wealth, has stuck to a simple lifestyle. But why would someone with limitless resources choose to live this way? Is it just about frugality, or is there a deeper reason? We'll dive into that shortly. Think about it: how much of your own life has been driven by the desire to appear successful? How often do we make decisions based on what others will think of us rather than what truly benefits us? As we'll discover, shedding the need to look rich can open doors you never thought possible. The power of looking poor. One of the biggest ironies of having wealth is that you don't have to look rich in order to be rich. This is hard for many people to understand because we have this common belief that being rich is a visible thing of expensive, nice possessions. But true wealth is invisible. It's about living an average, modest life. The everyday rich person becomes rich because they see the importance of looking poor. When I say looking poor, I'm not talking about raggedy clothes and driving a car with a bunch of emissions coming out. I'm just talking about living modestly with no visible indicators of their money. Think blue jeans and a t-shirt, driving an old Honda. In order to build wealth and become more financially secure, it's important to see the importance of looking poor and change your view of what it means to be rich.
Poor people usually spend their money and invest what's left. That's the philosophy of the poor.
Looking rich is the quickest way to going broke. We see this all the time with professional athletes. All of a sudden, they start making millions of dollars, then get a giant house, a collection of cars, and tons of stuff, increasing their expenses to what they make or more. Although they look and feel rich in the moment, when the money stops coming in, which is something that can happen pretty quickly with athletes, they have these high expenses but no income, no savings, and immediately go broke. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you spend all the money you make, you are just one surprise expense from going broke. Looking rich is not sustainable in the long run. Looking poor is important because it is sustainable in the long term. When you live modestly and build up your wealth, you're always prepared for life surprises. When you look poor, you'll never go broke. Looking rich burdens you with liabilities. The problem with looking rich is that you only may end up buying liabilities, which are things you owe. When you decide to look rich, these liabilities really burden you and prevent you from growing wealth. For example, if you want to look rich and get nice clothes with a credit card, a fancy car with an auto loan, and a big house with a high mortgage, you have all these liabilities to worry about. Whenever you make money, a huge amount goes to paying off all these liabilities. If a surprise expense comes up, or you lose your job, you might not be able to cover these liabilities and have to declare bankruptcy. Having too many liabilities makes it hard to get ahead in life, so looking poor is important, because you avoid having too many liabilities and end up having more money to buy assets or things that provide you future benefits. When you decide to look poor and limit your liability, you have more money to build your assets like your emergency fund, buying stocks, or other investments which help you grow your wealth. Strategically choosing when to display wealth. When is it okay to show wealth? Of course, there's a time and place for everything. Sometimes showing a little wealth can open doors, but it must be done strategically. Take Elon Musk, for instance. While he's known for his modest approach to certain aspects of life, like living in a small prefabricated home, he also knows how to strategically flaunt wealth when it benefits him. Whether it's launching a Tesla into space or appearing at high-profile events, Musk uses appearances when it serves his larger goals, but never to excess.
I have no problem being hated, by the way. It's a real weakness to want to be liked. A real weakness. And I do not have that.
Looking poor, or more accurately, appearing modest, is not just about saving money. It's a conscious strategy used by some of the smartest and most successful people on earth. Let's take another example, Mark Zuckerberg. You've probably seen him in his signature gray t-shirt and jeans, a stark contrast to the image of tech billionaires draped in expensive suits. Zuckerberg once explained that he wears the same thing every day to reduce decision fatigue.
A bunch of psychology theory that even making small decisions around what you wear or what you eat for breakfast or things like that, they kind of make you tired. And
for him, minimizing unnecessary choices frees up mental space for more important decisions like running Facebook. Now think about your own life. How much energy do we waste worrying about our appearance, trying to keep up with trends, or impressing others? By simplifying these areas, we can focus our mental energy on the things that truly matter: our goals, our projects, our relationships. So the question remains, is looking rich really worth the price you pay? Think about it. How often do we see people living beyond their means, buying things they can't afford just to keep up with others? The real power comes from having control over your financial life, not being controlled by the need to appear successful. True wealth doesn't need to prove itself. Many people who try to look rich and convince other people that they have money are usually just drowning in debt because their entire lives are just funded by debt. When you have real wealth in life, you don't feel the need to prove it to other people because you have freedom, security, and options in your life. When you have options, what does it matter if other people know? The key is balance. When you show wealth, do it with purpose. Don't let appearances drive your decisions. Instead, use them as a tool.
Thinking that I'm special or different in any way, trust me, that's not the case. The only difference between you and me probably is that I will take what's considered the risk.
Not a crutch. The choice is yours. So why is looking poor important? Because it shifts your focus from the external to the internal. It frees you from the constant pressure of keeping up appearances and allows you to focus on what really matters: building real wealth, real relationships, and real success. Next time you're tempted to buy something just to impress others, ask yourself, what would Warren Buffett do? Focus on building wealth that lasts, not appearances that fade. Looking poor isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about giving yourself the freedom to create a life on your own terms. Remember, real wealth isn't what you show the world, it's what you keep. Thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep learning and growing together. Until next time, focus on building a life that matters, not one that just looks good.